Ladies and gentlemen, Bangladesh is now a hellhole for minorities, especially Hindus. One Hindu voice has spooked the Yunus government in Dhaka to the core. A prominent Hindu voice, in fact in Bangladesh, ISKCON priest Chinmoy Krishna has been denied bail after he was booked on sedition charges and whisked away by Bangladeshi cops yesterday. The fury was visible with protests and clashes that unraveled on the streets. One person died in the clashes that took place right outside the Chattogram court. From Chittagong to Kolkata, the arrest has sparked outrage among political leaders and religious figures like Sadhguru, who condemned the move and called for his release. In fact, drawing the line, India said in the strongest possible terms that Bangladesh must ensure the safety of Hindus. However, what's appalling viewers is the token condemnation from opposition leaders. First, listen in to these reactions.
Radical forces are working in Bangladesh. I appeal all the Hindus around the world should come together and protect the existence of Hindus in Bangladesh. It's not only the protest, it's our fight for survival of the Hindus.
किसी भी देश में इस तरह की भावना नहीं पैदा होनी चाहिए। हर स्वतंत्रता है, जब हमारा देश हम सेकुलर मानते हैं तो हमारे देश में जिस तरह की स्वतंत्रता है दूसरे देश में अगर इस तरह का हो रहा है तो भारत सरकार देखेगी। इसमें विपक्ष की पार्टी के लोग क्या देख सकते हैं?
I think that the Ministry of External Affairs should take up this case seriously and they should lodge a strong protest that Hindus who are in minority in Bangladesh, they should be given full security.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Joining us on this debate this evening is Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, Senior Fellow IPCS, Dushyant Sridhar, who is a spiritual guru, live with us, Vivek Srivastava, political analyst, also live with us this evening, and Tausif Ahmed Khan, lawyer and political analyst. Good evening to all of you. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. And before I begin this debate, ladies and gentlemen, there is some breaking news coming in at this point in time. In fact, the Bangladesh government sticks to its gun and says the government is firm in upholding religious harmony in Bangladesh, irrespective of religious affiliation. It maintains that Chinmoy Krishna has been arrested on specific charges and that this arrest is misconstrued by certain quarters. So this is the statement coming in from Bangladesh at this point in time. Let's go across to my guests as well now. Abhijit Iyer Mitra, I would like to begin this debate with you this time. You know, you heard this statement now coming in from Bangladesh. Mohammad Yunus had said a couple of days ago, attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh not communal, issue exaggerated. Can we really expect anything from Bangladesh?
Look, Mohammad Yunus is an NGO stooge. He's always been a deep state stooge. He never had any political traction on the ground. The real people behind him are the Jamaat-e-Islami, right? Who are the same people, the Razakar party that helped the Pakistan army carry out all the genocides in 1971. So to expect anything from a lame duck who doesn't actually control things on the ground is a bit rich. Let's leave that aside. But let's look at the Bangladeshi Ministry of External Affairs statement in itself. They say we don't interfere with the judiciary. Well, all the judicial convictions that had been obtained under Sheikh Hasina, why did you empty the jails and put everybody back out on the streets? That's not interfering with the judiciary. Why did you stop all the prosecutions that had happened so far under that were ongoing under Sheikh Hasina so far? That wasn't interfering with the judiciary. You know, the sedition charge against Chinmoy Krishna ji, do you know the exact nature of that? It is the fact that at some rally that Chinmoy ji had conducted, there was a saffron flag above the Bangladesh flag. They have arrested him and he didn't hoist it. It was there at some of his event. And they have arrested him because it was there at some event. And this is apparently a government that believes in free speech. Now, his lawyer, the one Muslim lawyer who was defending him, has been killed. They are now accusing the people who are protesting outside peacefully of killing him. Why would the Hindus have any reason to kill the lawyer of their own side? They literally, the ISKCON has put out a statement right now saying that a bunch of Bangladesh police and army internal security attacked the protesters. They were accompanied by people shouting Nara-e-Takbir, carrying machetes, carrying knives, carrying stones.
Right.
And they were the ones which make sense because they are the ones who are up against Chinmoy. They would be the ones to want to kill his lawyer. So let us be clear about this. Bangladesh isn't a country anymore. It is turned into a menagerie. It is turned into a zoo. It is now a zoo of Islamist fundamentalism. It is going the Pakistan way. It is going the Afghanistan way.
Okay.
And there is nothing to do to stop it.
So if it's going Pakistan way, then what should India be doing? That's the big question tonight as well. And Vivek Srivastava, Hindus comprising about 8% of Bangladesh's nearly 170 million people have faced more than 2,000 attacks since August 4th. And now ISKCON priest has been arrested. He has been denied bail. Shouldn't there be unified voice from all political parties on attacks on a particular community in Bangladesh?
Yes. Now let's start one by one. First of all, I'll expose the lies of the gentleman who spoke just before me. Jamaat-e-Islami in Bangladesh has only 9% of the total vote share, and it is not responsible for propping up Mr. Yunus. So correct yourself, Mr. Abhijit Iyer Mitra. This is the first part. And stop spreading lies over here. He's a noble laureate and a respected man in his own right. We may not. No. Let me speak. I did not interfere. I did not interfere. Now let me speak. I did not interfere. So ask this man to please keep quiet, Heena. This is not the way to have debates.
Okay. Abhijit, let him complete his point. I'll give you time for rebuttal as well.
Let me speak for 30 seconds.
Okay, Vivek Srivastava, please make your point. Abhijit, I'll give you time for a rebuttal.
Policies of Mr. Yunus. So Mr. Abhijit, don't get worked up. Listen to me first now. Listen to me carefully and learn from me because you don't know.
Vivek Srivastava, please make your point.
Now, Mr. Yunus, we may not agree with Mr. Yunus. Yeah, we may not agree with Mr. Yunus, but he's a Nobel laureate in his own right and a respected man of economics in his own way. Now talking about ISKCON on a very esteemed channel called Times Now, I probably hope Mr. Iyer has heard of it. And I had an interaction with Mr. Amog Leela Prabhu of the ISKCON very recently in the very premises where this debate is being conducted. Now, ISKCON, I believe, first of all, Ramakrishna Paramhans and Swami Vivekanand are not spiritual. तामसिक लोग हैं क्योंकि मछली खाते थे, पहला स्टेटमेंट. दूसरा स्टेटमेंट, there were 1,000 cases of child abuse against ISKCON.
Vivek Srivastava, I asked you a direct question. One second, all of you please calm down. Vivek Srivastava, मैंने आपसे एक सवाल पूछा. I gave you some facts. And I asked you a very specific question. Hindus comprising 8% of Bangladesh's nearly 170 million people are being targeted. 2,000 attacks have happened since August 4th under the watch of this so-called Nobel laureate who you are addressing very respectfully in this debate. Under his watch, Hindus are being targeted. Shouldn't people speak in one voice and condemn what is happening in the neighborhood?
Is engaging in rabid whataboutery.
Of course, yes, but we should also condemn when organizations like ISKCON become political, start supporting parties like BJP and Times Now.
Sanju Verma, please respond and then I'll go across to Dushyant Sridhar.
And supporting Sheikh Hasina for
so those organizations are becoming political, that's why they are targeting and you're okay with it. Fantastic. Sanju Verma. Vivek Srivastava, you've made your point. Sanju Verma, please, everybody else, I will come to you. Yes.
You know, I think Dushyant Sridhar is the right person to talk about ISKCON. But even a layman knows, Heena, that this organization was set up way back in 1966 as part of the Bhakti movement. And in India alone, 5 million free meals are provided by ISKCON every single day. 5 million matlab 50 lakh million, 50 lakh लोगों को मुफ्त का खाना खिलाया जाता है. Thanks to ISKCON in India every single day. So Vivek Srivastava, यहाँ बैठकर ISKCON के ऊपर कुछ फालतू बातें मत कहिए. Please hold your horses. Don't digress. Now let me just follow.
I have very little time on the debate. I have to go to my other guests as well. Okay, Vivek Srivastava, you've made your point. Sanju Verma, 10 seconds, please respond. I have to go to other guests as well.
My limited point is this, as Abhijit said. Section 7 of the Bangladeshi flag code says that it is a non-bailable, it is not a non-bailable offense, it is a bailable offense.
Right.
So if indeed one believes that, Chinmoy Das, undermine the credibility of the Bangladeshi flag, ये तो bailable offense है, ये तो non-bailable है ही नहीं, तो आपने sedition charges पर, how will you pick up this man from Dhaka airport and you press sedition charges against him when more than 20,000 Hindus are being incarcerated, more than 2,000 Hindus have been killed under the watch of
Okay, I have very little time. I have to go across to my other guests as well. Dushyant Sridhar, it is a difficult situation for minorities. What is it that you will like to say? You heard what the panelists have said on this debate. What is your point of view?
Namaskaram Heena, namaskaram to my fellow panelists. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamaha davagni nirvapanam. This is the line of Shikshashtakam written by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the 15th century. He is one of the acharyas of the Gaudiya Sampradayam, and in the 20th century we had a visionary acharya called as Srila Prabhupada who established ISKCON. And it is in the very state of where Bengali and Bangla is spoken is where these acharyas belong to. And today it's an irony to see Chinmoy Krishna Das ji being arrested. And Heena, I'm not trying to create any panic. Given the situation that we have been seeing for the last 2 months, I think the Hindus are in for an extinction in Bangladesh. I know it's a strong statement, but in the coming months, we'll keep debating about this. And I'm sure one day they'll just go extinct, because that is the violence that has been, people have been throwing at the Hindus. And if the Indian government and if the other governments which generally talk about human value, democracy and human rights do not intervene, I'm sure Hindus will go for an extinction. And my last point.
You have made a very strong statement, and we have data as well suggesting something on these lines. Bangladesh's Hindu population at a meager 9% today. In 1947, viewers, it was 30%. And I want to give the last word to Tausif Ahmed Khan because I have very little time. Mr. Yunus is a respected figure. We all know that. But are the Hindus, the minorities in Bangladesh, not to be respected?
Of course, every minority in every country has their right, and of course, every minority in every country have to abide by the law of the country. The sedition charges leveled against the Mr. Chinmoy, I don't know whether they are true or false, but what is very disturbing, Heena, is that the supporters of Chinmoy Das, if they were being persecuted, if they were being, in danger of being extincted, how were they able to create havoc in the court premises, which resulted in death of a lawyer, of a state lawyer? A state lawyer, a public prosecutor is died because of the ruckus and violence that was created in the court premises.
So you're not really concerned about the condition of the minorities there. I'm completely out of time because we haven't really seen enough outrage as far as the atrocities against minorities in Bangladesh is concerned. And on the debate as well, we heard our panelists how, many people seem to be giving a clean chit to Yunus because he's a Nobel laureate. We all know that. But the reality is on the ground, people are suffering and something needs to be done about it. As a country, shouldn't we all be raising our voice? That's the question. And with this, it's a wrap. I'd like to thank all my guests for joining us on this debate, heading into a short break.